Are you nervous? Are you anxious that things are escalating in the South China Sea the way they're doing? Is there a concern that China might push the envelope further? That China might panic that they're not getting what they want? Is there or is there like healthy anxiety, but the sense that, well, we're gonna stand our ground and it's up to the other side to adjust accordingly? What's going on here? This is general psychology of the state apparatus.
Well, to be honest, no. To be perfectly honest, well, there's some anxiety, of course, because this is uncharted territory. However, people should not be worried, because I hear a lot of conversations that, are we going to go to war?
Yes.
A priest asked me that question over the weekend. No, are we really going to war? And I said no. What we're doing here is simply pushing back, and I think it's about time that the country pushed back. Because what has been done to us and is being done to us, is really detrimental to our pride as a country, and we are simply pushing back because we're now exercising our sovereignty, our sovereign rights, and our jurisdiction in the West Philippine Sea. Our assessment is that in the same manner that the Philippines is not interested in going to war, China is also not interested to go to war. A war in this part of the world would be detrimental for both economies, particularly with China, given that China, produces all the world's, most of the world's products. So that will really create havoc on their economy, on logistic supplies, and the entire world. And I don't think China would risk that at this moment, or not in the next few years at least.
So you're saying that China is fundamentally a rational player, right?
I would think so.
Yeah.
No, but it's as an emerging superpower. It sees itself as the new regional hegemon. Therefore, it's acting in the way that it perceives itself to be. The big guy on the block, and they would wish the United States to take a second.
And they feel entitled accordingly to having more say in regional waters in the West Philippine Sea waters. I mean,
yes.
I mean, I understand where people are coming from. Just going back to this, that people are worried about the war prospect. I mean, for heaven's sake, the Ukraine war last year, many people didn't see it. I was in Munich for the Munich Security Conference just a few days before. Still, the Europeans were contending that without Putin will be so irrational, and yet the war happened.
And then Hamas.
And then now the situation in the Middle East, and their fears of even a greater conflict, even worse than what we're seeing right now. So I cannot blame people worrying that there'll be a third front opening up, and that China may take advantage of an America which is bogged down, or supposedly bogged down, in two different theaters. Of course, we can have a debate about that. But I completely agree with your point that, let's not fall into these psychological games that, if you stand up for your rights, you're provoking the other side. I think I call that strategic gaslighting. Is that a correct way of putting it?
Yes, that's a correct way of putting it. And I think that's part of the pro-China narrative, that we're poking the bear, and that the more we poke, the more, the threat of war becomes closer to us. I think we're doing right by ourselves and by international law. We're in the right, and I think at the end of the day, rational minds will prevail.